he said, brushing the stray shock of sandy hair out of his eyes. "Haven't you got better shoes than that?" Emma studied his face. It bore the same expression of alarmed concern that he used in the days when he was selling bogus credit card insurance, only now the expression must be sincere. There was something surrealistic about using your face and your capacity to express emotion to rob people. At the end of it, you still had to use the same face for other things. "No, I don't," she said, and got out of the car. Harry came around the rear of the car and took the briefcase in one hand and Emma's arm in the other. "It's a good thing we're going on vacation. This is the worst bailout we've ever done." He hurried Emma to the elevator, pushed the button, and pulled her inside. "I didn't plan it this way," said Emma. "If you'll remember, I was dressed to go out to dinner, not out of the country." "That's the problem. We didn't plan it at all. No tickets, no clothes, no guns, no—" "Guns?" she said. "Guns, Harry? Maybe it's time to quit." "Well, they might have gotten us to the damned airport without having to drive like a lunatic. People would have a lot better chance if I were shooting at them than aiming that caddy at the space between them." The door slid open, and an elderly man pushed a large blue suitcase halfway into the elevator. "Excuse us," said Harry, and stepped past it with difficulty. The man paid no attention to Harry and Emma, so engrossed was he in pushing his two other suitcases into the elevator. The automatic door began to close, then hit the blue suitcase and opened again, then began a series of peristaltic twitches against the heavy, immobile obstacle. Harry and Emma entered the international terminal and scanned the crowds as they moved to the ticket counters. Suddenly Harry grasped Emma's arm and steered her in a graceful arc, then released her as her slow trajectory propelled her out the side door. Harry hurried Emma down the sidewalk, past travelers who emerged from the baggage area and stared expectantly for a moment, then set their suitcases on the pavement, while they tried to formulate plans that would end in their not having to lift the heavy luggage again. "Did he see us?" asked Harry. "I don't know. I didn't see him," said Emma. "Come on, let's get with the program. Are you sure something didn't hit you?" He looked down at the back of her coat. "Nope. It's probably just shock." They hurried across the street with a group of freed passengers carrying suitcases, then skirted the fenced parking structure to the other side of the loop. Harry paused, standing behind a pole, and then peered across the drive and up it at the approaching traffic. Then they dodged between two cars, rushed into the wake of a passing bus, and slipped into the American Airlines terminal. In the gigantic foyer, they moved to the pair of television screens marked arrivals and departures. Harry said, "It looks like Cleveland is first, then Miami, then Chicago. 3 should be enough." "I'll buy the Cleveland tickets and meet you in the gift shop," she said. Harry moved to the ticket counter and stood in the line of people, stepping forward a pace each time someone turned away from the counter, but always scanning the people who entered through the glass doors that ran the length of the huge room, until at last his turn came. He bought 2 tickets to Miami. As the ticket man looked up to establish eye contact with the next person in line, Harry said, "And 2 for Chicago." The man looked confused, but added, "My in-laws. What can I say? They grew up there, and they hate Miami." "Yes, sir. Names?" "Mr. and Mrs. Milliken." Harry glanced at the gift shop window 100 feet away. He could see Emma standing in front of a row of salt and pepper shakers in the shape of movie cameras, pretending to look at them while she kept watch. Harry felt a barely perceptible tightness in his chest and decided he wouldn't allow it to go on long enough to develop into an attack of guilt. Harry slipped his tickets into the inside pocket of his jacket as he strolled toward the gift shop and nodded to Emma through the window. As she joined him on the open floor, she saw 2 men walk through the doorway on the end of the room, near the hall that led to the departure gates. "I see them," said Harry. "It's Benny Costa and that big guy that never says anything except, 'How you doing?'" "Were they the ones in the other terminal?" "No, they're not just going around checking. He's got men watching all the terminals." Harry stepped into the alcove beside the gift shop and whispered, "He's out there himself, sitting in the dark somewhere, waiting. I can feel him." "Maybe this is where he eats," said Emma. Harry glared at her, then flicked his eyes to his wristwatch. "We've got about 5 minutes before the Cleveland flight. We've got to get past them and onto that plane." Emma opened her purse and looked at the ticket folder. "Gate 89. Harry and Emma looked at each other, then turned.